Good morning, grade 3s, and welcome back to WorksheetCloud. I hope that you woke up this morning with a big smile on your face because it is almost the weekend. And I know that you've been working very hard this week, so it is almost time for us to relax and to play a bit. But before we can do that, we're going to learn one more thing together. Now, we are going to do some grade 3 English together today. And if you have any questions throughout the lesson or afterwards, I know I say it every time, but you can ask mommy or daddy to send an email to grade3@worksheetcloud.com. And we will try and answer your questions as soon as possible. So for those of you who haven't been here before and this might be your first time you're watching a lesson, my name is Teacher Taryn and I do all the grade 3 English home language lessons. We are going to learn about verbs and adverbs today. Now, you might have done this before or you might already know this, but a little bit of revision is never going to hurt anybody. So let's first revise. The other day we did nouns and adjectives. So let's have a look at this little pig in the corner here. We spoke about the noun in our picture, that a noun is something we can hear, we can see, we can touch it, we can smell it, or we can taste it. We can use our senses to tell us that it is a noun. So it is a person, a place, or a thing. And we said that animals will then fall under the people category. And this animal over here is a pig. So the noun in this picture is pig. And then we said that an adjective describes our noun, tells us a little bit more about the noun. So let's have a look at this pig. What can we use to describe this pig? We said that the pig was pink, it is dirty, or it's a young pig. So the adjective describes this pig. So let's write a sentence using our noun and our adjective. The dirty pig sits in the mud. So now for it to be a sentence, we need to have a capital letter at the front and a full stop at the end. And let's see, where did we use our noun in the sentence? Pig. And which word in that sentence describes our noun, the pig, a bit more? It tells us a bit more about our noun. The word dirty. So we can ask, what kind of pig? The dirty pig sits in the mud. So let's have a look at another example. Here we've got a little monkey. And remember we said a person, place, or a thing. So our noun is going to be monkey. And now our adjective is going to describe this monkey. So we can either say the upside down monkey, or the brown monkey, or the silly monkey, because he looks like he's swinging. The swinging monkey as well. So our noun is what we can see, and our adjective tells us more about our noun. So let's write that in a sentence. The silly monkey swings in the tree. So our noun was monkey, and our sentence has a capital letter and a full stop at the end. And we have another noun in that sentence. What else can we see or touch? A tree. Yes, tree is also a noun. But our noun that we used was monkey. And is there a word that describes our monkey? Tells us a bit more about that monkey. Yes, silly tells us about the monkey. The silly monkey swings in the tree. Okay, so now today we are going to look at what verbs are. Now, verbs is a doing word. A verb is a doing word and it describes an action, something that is happening. So over here you can see there are children and they're either walking or they are running. So I can ask, what is happening? They are running, or they are walking, or they are chasing each other. So it tells me what the noun is doing or what is happening to the noun. So over here our noun would be children. And what is the noun doing? What are the children doing? They are running. So running will be my verb. Did you know, this is very interesting, that every sentence must have a verb, and that is how important verbs are. Now, if you want to test if it is a verb, you just need to ask yourself, can I do it? So run, can I run? Yes, I can run, so it is a verb. Talk, can I talk? Yes, I can talk, so talk is my verb. So let's find the verbs in these sentences. John digs in the garden. Mom hugs me every day. I jump on the trampoline. My sister drinks her tea. I write my homework. Let's first check, are they all sentences? Yes, they all start with capital letters. They all have something at the end to tell me to stop. And in these sentences, there are full stops. And we need to find the verb in every sentence because we said every sentence must have a verb. So let's first look at the first one. John digs in the garden. I can ask myself, what is John doing? He is digging. So Mom hugs me every day. What is Mom doing? She is hugging me. I jump on the trampoline because jump is something that I can do. My sister drinks her tea. So what is my sister doing? She is drinking her tea. She drinks. I write my homework. So what am I busy doing? I'm busy writing. I write my homework. So now I can ask myself if I can do all of these things. Can I dig? Yes. Can I hug? Yes. Can I jump? Yes. Can I drink? And can I write? Yes, I can do all these things. So they are all verbs. So earlier we spoke about a noun and an adjective, and we said that a noun and an adjective are friends. And just like we can say that a noun and an adjective are friends because the adjective describes the noun, we can say that a verb and an adverb are friends. So adverbs are our next thing we are going to learn about. They work together because they depend on each other. The adverb needs a verb to describe, and an adjective needs a noun to describe. So, adverbs. What are adverbs? An adverb always describes the verb. So, just like an adjective tells me more about the noun, the adverb tells me more about the verb. So, here we can see that there are children running. The verb and the adverb are good friends. So let's think, what is my verb in the sentence? They are running. Now I can ask myself, how are they running? So if we ask you to identify an adverb, you first have to look for the verb. So identify, we've looked at that word before. That just means we need to look for the adverb or find. As soon as you have found the verb, you can look for his friend, the adverb. So I look for the verb and then I ask myself, how is it being done? So let's look at an example. Susan runs quickly. So I first need to look for the verb. I ask myself, what is the verb in this sentence? What is Susan doing? She runs. Yes, so runs is the verb. Now I can ask myself, which word tells us more about how she runs? So Susan runs. How is she busy running? She runs quickly. So quickly is telling me more about how Susan runs. So let's practice a few together. The dog hungrily eats his food. First, I look for the verb. The dog hungrily eats his food. What is the dog busy doing? He is eating. The dog hungrily eats. So eats is my verb. Now I ask, how did he eat it? The dog hungrily eats his food. So hungrily is my adverb. And most of the time, if I'm describing the verb and I'm saying how it happens, my adverb is always going to have the E on the end. Hungrily. So let's see if you can do it by yourself. Mom hugs me lovingly. So I ask myself, how does mom hug me? Because hugs is my verb. John works hard in the garden. So I first look for my verb. What is John busy doing? He works. How does John work? Number 3, I jump excitedly on the trampoline. So I ask, what is my verb in the sentence? I jump. How do I jump? My sister slowly drinks her tea. So what is my sister doing? She drinks. How does she drink her tea? And number 5, I write my homework quickly. So what am I doing? I'm writing. I write is my verb. And now I ask, how do I write? So let's check if you were correct. Mom hugs me lovingly because lovingly tells me how mom hugs. John works hard in the garden because works was my verb and hard tells me how John works. I jump excitedly on the trampoline. So jump was my verb and excitedly tells me more about how I jump. My sister slowly drinks her tea. So my verb was drinks and the adverb slowly tells me more about how she drinks. I write my homework quickly. So my verb was write and the word that tells me about how I write is quickly. So let's have a look at our adverbs in these sentences. I have lovingly, hard, excitedly, slowly, quickly, and there are lots of other adverbs. Now adverbs, they color in our words just like adjectives do. And adjectives make our nouns a bit more exciting and adverbs make our verbs a bit more exciting. And that tells us a bit more about our sentence. So let's quickly revise. What have we learned today? We revised nouns and we said that nouns are people, places, or things. And we can look for them, we can hear them, we can touch them, we can taste them, or we can smell them. So it's things that are in front of us. So let's quickly think of a few nouns that are around us. I have a computer, I have a speaker, I have a paper and a pencil, and all of those things, because I can touch it, are nouns. So then we said adjectives are words that describe our noun. So the adjective of a piece of paper could be the white paper, or the sharp pencil, or the beautiful bird, or the green grass. So the adjective describes our noun and tells us more. And why do we need to know these things? Because we can use our imagination to imagine what those things would actually look like. If I told you that there was a dress on the little girl, you can use your imagination if I told you the blue dress or the polka dot dress to imagine what that dress would actually look like. Then today, our new things that we learned were verbs and adverbs. And we learned that a verb is a doing word, an action word, something that you can do. And we learned that an adverb describes the verb. It describes how we can do something. So let's think of a few examples for verbs. We can say eat, or drink, or type, or write, or jump. And our adverb will tell us how those things could happen. So I quickly typed, or I hungrily eat, or I neatly write in my book. So all those words describe me how that happens. And the adverbs color in our writing because they tell us a little bit more. We can imagine how the action is being done. Now, why do we need to know all of these things? We are going to try a challenge sentence. So you need to put your thinking caps on, and now you need to remember we learned about nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. So let's look at this challenge sentence here at the bottom. My little puppy runs excitedly outside. So now, do you see any nouns, any adjectives, any verbs, and any adverbs? Let's see if you were correct. So, puppy, yes, would be my noun because I can see the puppy, I can hear a puppy barking, I can smell a puppy if we've just washed him. And are there any words in this sentence that describe the puppy that would be our adjective? Little, yes, it tells us about what the puppy looks like. It tells us that the puppy is a very small puppy. So what is the puppy doing? Because our sentence needs to have a verb. The puppy runs. That is what he is doing, the action word in the sentence. And are there any words that describe how he runs? He runs excitedly. And that tells us exactly how he is busy running outside in the garden. So I can use my imagination and I can try and picture this little puppy running around on the grass outside. Now grade 3s, you are very clever boys and girls, and now you can practice looking for nouns, adjectives, verbs and adverbs in almost anything that you read because they are everywhere around us. So grade 3s, after we've learnt a little bit today and you've done your activity, it's almost time for the weekend. And I hope that because you've been working so hard, I'm very proud of all the hard work that you are doing by yourself at home. And I'm sure your teacher is going to really enjoy when you get back that you've been doing so much revision. And I hope that you have a lovely afternoon further. And this lesson was brought to you by WorksheetCloud. Goodbye, grade 3s.